This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
And boom!
Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
You like that? You like that?
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Game plan looks like. Game plan looks like. Game plan looks like. Game plan looks like. I'm pulling my tickets!
I'm sick of it, man. I really am.
I'm gonna make him an offer, James.
Get over it!
You guys are going to criticize whatever you want to criticize.
Timberwolves superfan, KFAN Stan Barrero.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes, I do!
it was a nice run.
Is wearing women's underwear part of your training?
Yeah, baby.
You just have to draw your own conclusions, people.
Correct! Lucky. Yeah, Rosie. Border battle. Brilliant. Stop.
Mark, they can pitch. They can pitch.
You know, sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, and you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs.
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
I'm a fraud. Yes. Truer words than Irvin speaks back spoke.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
Yes, thank you. And the Grum begins at 5. Actually, 3 but 5 sounds of more than 4, 2, 1. Greetings, good afternoon. Ack-ack-a-dack, dack-dack-ack. It is a thrilling Thursday, or as we like to say, throw in the towel Thursday. It's been a pretty rough week for us, but so we might just throw in the towel today. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Spread swing at 1:30. Deuce and Rosie join us then. Then Rosie will hang around from 2 until 3 o'clock. We expect a fast-paced, action-packed, controversial program today with plenty to get to. Will P.J. Fleck be the new coach at Penn State? The Wild just can't seem to win another game. The Wolves refuse to play defense. Is there still a quarterback controversy in Minnesota? And a World Series that's out of this world? With all those topics to get to, where do we start? Well, the Wheel of Topic will let us know.
Wheel of Topics.
Commons golf game.
There's plenty to get to.
What'd you shoot today?
76.
Where'd we play?
Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on? One?
Right up the gut.
How far from the green?
I had a little sawed-off 9-iron in my hand.
Second shot?
I hit it to the 15 feet to the short of the pin.
Then what?
2-putted for par.
Incredible.
It was a round that was filled with as much joy as well as pain and sorrow I've ever experienced in a long, long time. I had one bad swing on the front side. My second shot on number 4, a 5-iron, came over the top, hit a ground ball, hit a ground ball to Correa. Ended up, I knocked the next shot on the green and 2-putted for a bogey, and I hit a wedge in to 10 feet on 9 and made the putt to make birdie. So I was even through 36. I just missed a 15-foot birdie putt on 10, and then I hit a 15 birdie putt on 11. So I'm 1 under through 11, and I'm thinking today is the day. I sent baby brother Peter a picture. There's still dew on the greens, so I show him the birdie putt, and I text him, birdie from 15 feet on 11 to go to 1 under. At that point, Tennessee just came unraveled. On number 12, I don't know why I aimed so far, because there's some caution on the left because there's out of bounds left, but I haven't hit it out of bounds there in 3 years. And I just kind of hang on to it. I block it right. I have trouble finding the ball. I mean, it's thick over there. I take the full allotted 3 minutes, maybe 3.5, and I'm ready to go back and hit again, and then, not very happy. I find it, chop it out, hit a wonderful wedge to 10 feet, and just miss the par putt. So I make bogey to get back to even. I think, okay, I averted disaster, right? I mean, you go back to the tee, you're hitting 3 off the tee, hit it in the fairway. That's 3, knock it on 4, 2-putt 6, and you're in some trouble. I get to the par 3 and I dead pull my tee shot left. It's a middle pin, and I'm left on the fringe. I walk it off. I've got 75 feet, and I hit what I think is a good putt, but it's too much. It goes 10 feet by. I missed the 10-footer. Now I go to 1 over. 14, the short par 4. I'm just hitting the ball so much further. I'm 135, so I'm going to hit a 9-iron and bounce it in front of that green, because you got to bounce it in front of that green and roll it up. I hit it too good. It hits the green and goes over. I hit a poor wedge. I make another bogey. I get to 15 and I just absolutely crush a drive. I hit my iron to 10 feet on one of the most difficult holes on the golf course. And I leave the putt like an inch short from going in for birdie. Then the only real choke of the day, I'll call it a choke. I'm not afraid to say that I hit the wedge with my hands wrapped around my 16. I hit a good drive, okay hybrid. I got about 65 yards to a middle pin, okay? But you know Loggers Trail well enough. You know how just in front of the green, there's a little valley there, so I had the downhill lie.
You can't hit it short.
Right,
yeah.
And I got a little downhill lie, and I got 65 yards, and I hit my 56, and I chunk it. Just absolutely chunk it. No! It goes 20 yards at most, and now I'm mad. I drop another ball, and what do you think I do? Hit it to 2 feet. Should have made birdie, but I don't. I can't get up and down. I make bogey. I make a sloppy bogey on 17. I'm lucky to make on 18. So a 76, generally speaking, trombones is a nice number, but tell me you wouldn't be disappointed. Through 11 holes, I had an experience that was not unlike that of a PGA Tour professional. I only hit one bad shot through 11 holes. One poor shot, and then I didn't let it kill me. I made bogey out of the hole. What have I done? Why me, Lord? What have I done to deserve? Why me, golf God? What have I done to deserve this?
Love how you're mad after shooting a 76.
Well, when I chunked the shot, you should have saw how angry I was.
I've seen it.
Let's just say I had some well-placed expletives directed at me. You stupid, you complete bleeping idiot. Oh, yeah. Remember Barrero has that soundbite? He's a complete bleeping idiot. I don't know where that is. That's what I was saying to myself. Well, I was saying it out loud. Matter of fact, if there was anybody within 2 or 3 fairways of me, they would have heard it as well. But
the Common Man.
Is there anybody who thinks this guy is not a bleeping idiot?
That's what I was thinking. I was a bleeping idiot. And if there was anybody within 3 or 4 fairways of me, they would have heard me, but I think I was the only person on the golf course. Actually, there was an employee who was playing. He walks. He plays the tips, and he goes, yeah, well, I tripled 4, because I talked to him afterwards. I tripled 4, but I got it back to 1, and I ended up 2 over. So he shot 74 from the back tees with a triple.
I always love that one.
He's just so talented. Just hits it beautifully. 72. It's almost 7,200 yards from the tips in the cold weather. So anyway, I'll be okay though. I mean, after you get in the car and drive away, and it was overall, it's a good round. But tell me, you wouldn't be. I thought today. I said I took a picture of the front 9 that said 36, sent it to baby brother Peter, and said, maybe today is the day. Maybe today is the day I go low.
You gave yourself a Chip Sharon a chance.
I did give myself a Chip Sharon a chance. And unlike Blake Snell, I didn't just come up with excuses. Blake Snell, did you see Blake Snell after giving up back-to-back home runs to start the game? It really wasn't my fault. They just guessed. Well, if you read the quotes from the Toronto guys, they knew he was going to come out and try to establish his fastball, so they were just sitting on it. So that's his mistake. He goes, yeah, they were he even said something about, they kind of thought I'd be throwing. Well, yeah, they thought you well, then don't throw fastball. But you know what that is. I mean, you think about this. This is a guy that has one of the richest contracts. I think he's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Has one of the richest contracts in all of sports. He's pitched well in the postseason so far, and I don't think he was that necessarily brutal last night. But in the game where in the fifth pivotal game 5, I mean, if you see the numbers, I don't know if you've read any of the stories, tend to be the team that wins game 5, home or road, wins like 75% of the time. And if you're the home team the next game, you're basically winning like 85%. The numbers aren't quite there, but there's something to that extent. So that's the game where he's supposed to be that's why they pay us the big
supposed to give
bucks.
an ace performance.
That's where you're supposed to get an ace performance, and they did not get one from him. And that Toronto club, scrappy. And again, they spent a lot of money too. They got the 5th highest payroll, but it's almost $100 million less than the Dodgers. And they got to Ohtani the night before. So that Toronto club, after losing a heartbreaking, this is all for Dylan on KDWB. He wanted me to talk baseball today. He's a huge baseball guy, as you know. He said, you'd be talking some baseball today? And I do the old, we never mention baseball. Even though we do. But let's face it, this is a baseball, like any city, Tennessee, this is a baseball town when the baseball team is really good. It's a basketball town when the basketball team is really good. It's a hockey town or state of hockey when the hockey team's really good, right? I mean, if a team's good, everybody's on board.
And I was talking to Zach Dillon off the air the other day because he basically asked me the same thing about, what about that World Series game last night? And I told him, the downfall of baseball for me is that these games are being played in late October because now there's other competition. There's other stuff. Like the other night, I can watch Chiefs Commanders. I can watch the Timberwolves. I can watch the Wild. And as part of my job, I'm watching every Wild game.
Yeah.
So, if the World Series was in August, I'd probably watch every game.
Yeah.
But now there's just too much else going on, and it's not my favorite sport.
And when your hometown team is as bad as they are, there's just not as much interest. It's even like, when with the Wolves being as good as they've been, well, not this year, they're terrible again, but, Western Conference Finals last 2 years in a row, I actually know more about the rest of the league because you're sort of kind of paying attention to the rest of the league. Oh, who's our competition? Ooh, Joker and Denver, they're really good. Then you've got, Golden State and all the other teams in the West. And then you got, SGA and that club. So you pay closer attention when your team is terrible. It's like I'm just learning more about Toronto as this series goes by. I knew nothing about them before. Now you start watching a little bit. You learn. Like the kid last night, he's a rookie. He was in the middle of the summer. He was still in single A ball. He was brilliant last night. Did he strike out? Was it 12 hitters? Yes. I think. I mean, the kid was just he's one of those kids. He probably just doesn't know any better, right? He has no fear. It's like we talk about when you watch young kids play golf, and they just rip the ball and score because they don't have any scar tissue. They don't have any fear. They just play without fear, and that's what that kid's doing. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the purple. Other side of the break. Tennessee, though, has a keyword for us.
Yeah, the fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword cash at KFAN.com now. For a shot at winning, that keyword is cash. Enter now at KFAN.com.
KFAN.
Join Justin Guard this Sunday at Gray's Food Hall for a Purple Watch Party. Come catch the Purple in action against Detroit this Sunday at noon. Enjoy great food and drinks and enter for your shot to win awesome prizes every quarter. Get all the details right now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
What's the name of the place again?
Gray's Food Hall.
And what time will that be?
It just says catch the Purple. Yeah, noon.
Okay, very good.
It's a watch party.
That's a watch party. That's the kickoff. Yeah, you can hear that game on this radio station. Coverage begins at 10. Be here for the Pooch Kick at 12 noon. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Text message came in that said, love the trigger fingers on the opening tenna. That was me, too. I was adding in. I rarely do that. I generally leave that up to the montage master. I let Tenna have his fun with that. Then come fourth quarter, bring it to the ticket. I let Tennessee do his thing for the first 2-3 minutes of the show. And then come fourth quarter, bring it to Common. But I was
dueling button bars.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I was kind of bouncing through there. We have so many different button bars, too. But that came in. Here's one that says Tennessee has a skating experience that's not unlike an NHL player every time he steps on the ice. And Tennessee did say that. He says he thinks he's in the same rink when it comes to skating with NHL players.
Used to be.
Then there's this one. I wonder how many people either turn off or don't even tune into the first 10 minutes of the Common Man program because they could care less about Common's golf game. I'm like, come on, man. No one wants to hear about it or cares. Skol Vikes. Would you rather hear about my golf game, which I was brilliant today and shot a 76, or an awful Minnesota Vikings team? Come on, man. And this is what I said to him. I said, you're the only one who said anything negative about it. Common's listeners love hearing about his morning round. It's entertaining. See, here's the thing. My listeners are my friends. I consider them my friends. As a matter of fact, if you look at my contact list on my phone, there's probably 30 names of people that were originally listeners, and they've become friends of mine. And Tennessee, when you're talking with friends, you like to hear about their day. So how was your day? What you been doing? And people don't mind a little 2-minute discourse, a little diversion, talking about they've come to expect it. And I can't help that when you spin the wheel of topic, Common Man's golf game comes up. Tennessee's has come up a couple of times.
Yeah.
One time I think euthanasia came up, and I couldn't comment on that because I don't know any young kids from the Orient. I don't know any young children from that part of the world. So how could I talk about euthanasia? So you'll get over it. It's fine. It's a 3-hour show, and that's just 2 minutes of it. So you'll be now. Today was a little longer, but it was an electrifying round. There were highs and lows. There was, like I say, joy. There was immense joy and plenty of sorrow. And that's what happens sometimes when you play the game of golf. And I'm the official, unofficial ambassador of Minnesota Golf, and I have a proclamation from Governor Ventura to prove it, and I have to talk about my golf game, or I'm no longer the golf ambassador. I leave no sand trap unraked, no ball mark unrepaired, and no divot unreplaced in my relentless pursuit of the truth, the whole truth, or at least some semblance of the truth. Peek at the Purple is brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. If you're buying or selling a home, don't skip the most important inspection. That would be the electrical one. Hidden issues in wiring, panels, and outlets can cost thousands down the road. Let their licensed professionals give you an honest professional electric assessment before you buy or sell. Minnesota trusted home wiring experts, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com, and Affordable Electric is, brace yourself for it, it's shockingly affordable. Tennessee, you sent me this. Doug Clausen. I'm not sure who Doug is. What's Doug?
Who?
What's Doug's story? Do you know?
I don't know anything about Doug.
Does he married, wife, kids? Does he have any skeletons in his closet? Doug, you sent it to me. His post says, the Vikings can be the first team in NFL history, and we love historically good or biblically bad. This would be historically biblically bad, though, I think. It says the Vikings can be the first team in NFL history to lose 2 QBs in one off season who make playoff starts the following year.
You've got to be kidding me.
Old Sam Darnold has an arm, E-I-E-I-O, with a pick 6 here and a tutty there, here a pick, there a tutty, there a tutty. And then Danny Dimes has been just very, very good. As we pointed out, though, yesterday, I like Mark Craig, even though Mark Craig was very bitter with us when we included him on the preposterous statement tournament. He said, your silly little, why he might have even was maybe even more critical of our little preposterous statement tournament. He said, you took me out of context. Well, yeah. That's what we do. But we learned some people don't want it, so that's fine. We removed him from the tournament. But he's a terrific writer. And he did a nice piece and said, we talked about it yesterday where he said, how would Danny Dimes have fared with the Vikings if he would have been playing with the Vikings? And it's like, well, if you put him behind this offensive line, he probably would have had, my guess is, a separated shoulder, a fractured shoulder socket, and a torn labrum. If he'd been playing behind this offensive line, right? I mean, that is the truth, the whole truth, and some semblance of the truth is if you have a really good offensive line, a cohesive offensive line that plays together as a unit, because as we mentioned, tend to be most guys in this league, quarterbacks, they can spin it. That's why they're in the NFL. They're right. Then there, of course, is a pecking order in the NFL. You have your guys at the very top. Your Josh Allen's is. Your Patrick Mahomes is. I dare say you could put the Derek Mays up there. No, not Derek Mays.
Drake
Mays and some of the others. But we know who those guys are, the guys that can really spin it. Even Matty Stafford. Jared Goff. Jordan Taylor. Jaden Daniels when he's healthy. Jalen Hurts has his moments. Kirk Cousins. The kid from Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson. Bo Nix.
Exactly. But when you have not only a guy that can spin it, but he's got time to throw and he doesn't have to worry. He's not looking over his left shoulder all the time, wondering when I'm going to get crushed by an on-rushing lineman. So, but the Vikings made their choice. They decided that they liked the McCarthy, and I liked the strategy. You and I, well, at least I did, and I think you agreed with me. You're always wondering, how do you put together a championship team? And you got to do it with, obviously you have to have, I mean, you need more than one good player, but the quarterback position is vitally important. And then if you can get it, generally when you get a quarterback that's had a lot of success and been to Pro Bowls and won passing titles and taking you deep into playoffs, you got to pay him a boatload of money, which then prevents you from having that really good offensive line in many cases because you can't afford really good offensive linemen. And the Vikings had a guy in Darnold. Now, again, I don't know how well Darnold would have done this year, especially behind that offensive line, and same with Danny Dimes. They decided to go the inexpensive route. Let's get the young kid that looks like the world is his oyster. He's got a lot of, he's got his future's in front of him. And I feel like this is the coach. We feel like we do a good job here of in our tutelage of quarterbacks. And we think we can surround him with enough nice pieces and he can learn on the job. Hasn't worked that way. He goes back to school on Sunday. He will be starting against the Motor City Kitties at the Litter Box in Pontiac. Again, you'll hear that game on this fan. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends and fans at Affordable Electric. Remember, Affordable Dash Electric. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable.
Hey, Rubes, this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest, learn more, and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
Couple 13-14 past here on the Common Man program. I've been inundated with text messages via the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line talking about the very controversial topic of Common Man's golf game. Why is this on my screen now? What the? Why is there a stopwatch there? Got rid of that. I don't know where that came from. It's spooky. It's Halloween-like. This text message says, we love your golf game. Never change, me boy. Here's another one. Golf game. Here's another. One word. Golf. Another one. He's mad he's not as good as you at golf. This one says, golf game all the way. I almost exclusively tune in for Wheel of Topics. Not a math guy. Common's golf game or the uninteresting new hire for the Twins? I'll take golf. I got more if you want it. I love the golf game. My day is ruined when I miss it. We love Wheel of Topic. My day needs Wheel of Topic. Wheel of Topic is the best. Common's golf game is a nice break from all the losing from our Minnesota sports teams right now. I could care less about the golf game too, but I tolerate it. I have friends who talk about stuff I don't care about. It's part of being a friend. Thank you. Common, what's your lowest score? And if you have a few minutes, would you mind going through it shot by shot? Well, I could. I've done it. My best ever is at Loggers Trail. I shot a 68. I don't remember a shot I hit on the backside. I shot even par 36. I remember every shot on the front when I shot 32. I'll recant that tale on. I'm going to start a podcast called Common Man's Golf Round. Should be a lot of fun.
I think that'd be a good outlet for it.
I think so as well. I love the 76 recap. Just got back from St. Andrews. Similar story on the old course. I only tune into the first 10 minutes of the Grum. Never hear Common's golf game not trying hard. Right? Did you ever hear me go, well, I just gave up? Well, you know what? Just didn't try very hard today, much like the Timberwolves, which again, apparently they did not try again. I'm reading from Fish Wrap Factory West Side. Wolves lose last night. Last second shot from the Lakers down the Wolves, 116-115. Chris Hine, beat writer, Fish Wrap Factory West Side. Headline says, Lakers blow big lead, but still beat Timberwolves. Austin Reeves is runner at the buzzer, lifted L.A., playing without LeBron and Luka to a 116-115 victory. Story reads, for 5 games, the Timberwolves defense hasn't been what they or fans have been accustomed to seeing. But Wednesday night, after erasing a 20-point Lakers lead in the second half, all the Wolves needed was one stop while up by 1 with 10.2 seconds to play, and they couldn't get it. Austin Reeves hit a 12-foot floater in the lane as time expired to give the shorthanded Lakers, who were without Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and multiple other contributors, a 116-115 victory over the Wolves. Now, full disclosure, Wolves are without Anthony Edwards, but I would say Doncic, Edwards would be a push, right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, you might like Edwards better than Doncic as a player or vice versa, or think they're about the same. They're different styles of players, but they both can fill up the basket. In terms of their
impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would make it even, and you would think the Wolves would have a better chance. They did not. Randall had given the Wolves the lead with a driving layup on the previous possession, but Reeves got loose in the middle of the floor for the final shot. He finished with 28 points and 16 helpers. Wolves coach Chris Finch had a mea culpa afterwards by saying the Wolves should have had a switching defense on the final play instead of a drop coverage. Finch said, "It's on
That's
me."
how I saw it too.
I did too. That's exactly what I don't know. I don't know why they did a drop coverage. I would not have done that. They dropped the ball basically by having a drop coverage. Finch said, "It's on me. I should have had Rudy just switch. We got split in coverage, and we should have just blacked it, and just switched it, and just kept everybody in front." Wolves' defense looked a little like it has the last few seasons, and allowing the Lakers, or looked a little like, I'm sorry, not a little like, looked a little like, they allowed the Lakers to shoot 54%. Jake LaRavia, do you know who that is? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Who?
I never heard of him. He torched them for 27 points, 17 in the third quarter. Randall said, "It's on us as players." No, I thought it was on the crowd. I thought they were the problem. It's on us as players. We got to go out and execute, and we're just not doing it for whatever reason. But I have faith in our group. I know we will do it. We just got to stick together. We can't point fingers, just stay together. We're 4 games into the season. We're talking about pointing fingers and getting the ship righted. You're 4 games in. Or is it 5 now? Whatever the case is.
By the way, speaking of the crowd, You know, they changed the way the lighting is.
Yeah.
So you just the lights on the court. And
apparently it's a lot like they do at
Madison Square
Garden, which I'm not familiar.
But when I saw the highlight of the Reeves final play, the first time I saw it, I'm like, were they on the road last night?
Is that different?
It looks, obviously you can tell by the Timberwolves logo on the floor, but if you didn't look at the logo right away, you just look into the crowd, I'm like, it looks completely different on television.
Here's what Chris writes. The Wolves came out flat in the second half.
Shocking.
I don't know how you come out flat. As the Lakers went on an 18-6 run, extended their lead to 14. La Revilla. I think there's a flower shop in town named after that guy, La Veranda. La Veranda dominated the score, and he poured in 17 points. He hit a 3 as part of a 9-0 Lakers run that put them up 92-75, which forced a timeout from Chris Finch. Dillingham played a little bit last night. He nearly played. He played 12 minutes Monday. He nearly played more than that in the first half, but he struggled to score, 1 for 5. Says he did a lot of good things on offense, generating 5 assists. A few were more hockey style, where he hit a pass to somebody else that allowed somebody to get it to the right guy. Shannon says he needs to be more aggressive. He wasn't. Nas was, Nas has been struggling. I guess that when you sign a new $125 million contract, that'll do it. Nas has not been the Nas Reed we're used to, but I'm not so worried
the
about
last 2 games, he'd been better without Ant.
Right.
So I figured that would continue last night, but no.
I'm not that concerned about Nas, because I think Nas has shown that he puts his best foot forward, I think, every night. I don't think he comes out flat. I don't think it's with Nas, it's a lack of effort. Though DiVincenzo said everybody lacked effort after that. What that first game was it? First or second game, whatever it was.
Nas also just had a tumultuous offseason.
And he did have
off the court.
Yeah, very much so. When his
so
sister
you don't know how that affects you mentally and emotionally.
His sister was killed in a violent incident. I read some of the message board stuff, and there's a lot of negatives out there, and many are suggesting that it's something you wait for. Gobert, they're saying Gobert just isn't providing the kind of defense or rebounding. Now it's early in the season, and nobody's really providing any defense for the Wolves. But Gobert, is he 33 now? Is that how old Gobert is? And you wonder sometimes, as players begin to age. I know 33, you're a young man, but in basketball terms, you're almost becoming a dinosaur.
Yeah, he's 33.
You're almost becoming a dinosaur, and sometimes big men, he really offers nothing. If he's not completely shutting people down defensively, offensively, generally speaking, he doesn't offer a lot, right? Is that a fair assessment, Tenneby? He has moments in games where he can score, but most of the time it's basically he's there to just protect the rim and get your rebounds.
Most of his scoring is going to be of the dunk variety,
right?
Correct. He's catching the ball near there or getting put back rebound, something like that. He's not going to get too far out from the rim to score his points.
And then
so he had a game. Was it the Lakers series last year where he put up
yes?
It was like a big game, like a game 6 or game 7. I don't remember.
So then I noticed, the head coach, if you'll remember, Tenneby, last year said, coming out of last season, or maybe it was during the off season, he said something to the effect of, I'm going to increase my rotation, the number of players I play. We're going to start playing 10 players. Well, last night, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He played 9 guys, but Bones Highland played 8 minutes. So that's almost like not playing. So again, it doesn't seem like, McDaniels played 41, Randall 36, Gobert played 38, DiVincenzo 34. Mike Conley played 28 last night, and Reed played 22. Those are your guys that you would expect to get a lot out of. But then I saw this story, Tenneby, as I was scanning the NBA roundup. I saw a headline: Boston Celtics new starter emerges as potential long-term contributor. Kid named Josh Minot. Way back, this story reads, Dateline Boston, Josh Minot, way back before the season started, knew the type of opportunity ahead of him. The Celtics went through an offseason change and in overhauling their roster, they signed the young but inexperienced Minot. There were available minutes for a wing. It was just about who would step up and grab them. Well, so far it's been Minot. He isn't just making the most of his chances, he's flourished in his new starter's role. His last performance wowed the TD Garden crowd Wednesday as the Celtics overwhelmed the Cavaliers 125-105. Minot had his fingerprints on the victory, and it's to the point where he's looking like a potential long-term contributor. Here's what he said. We were all stars in high school, and I'd say most of us were stars in college. So it's like just coming here, you've got to understand that not everybody's going to be a star. How many times have you heard me say that? It's exactly what I've said before. Every guy in the team was his team's leading scorer from the time he started with Pop Warner and Howard Pulley, in-house basketball, travel basketball, AAU, right up on the line. They were always, but once you get to the NBA, not everybody can be a star. He says, I've got no problem with that. I'll go make you all look good. Just rebound, defend, try and make the other team's good players not look as good, and y'all just continue to do what y'all do. So, I mean, just blessed to have a great group of guys around me. Wednesday, 11 points, 14 boards, 5 on the offensive side, and 3 steals.
We call that a glue guy.
Why can't we get guys like that? Why can't we get Josh Minot?
Why not Minot?
I like that. Why not Minot? Why can't we get guys like Josh Minot? He couldn't get off the bench here. No! He played, how many minutes did I say he played last night? I think he played 38 minutes. He probably played a grand total of 38 minutes in the old time he's here. Why doesn't Finch play more players? Josh Minot, a budding star, was on our roster, and we never played him. Just let him sit at the end of the bench.
Rot.
And rot. We let Minot rot. Now, again, it could be beginner's luck, right? Maybe other teams just aren't paying that close attention to him because he's Josh Minot, for crying out loud. You know why he's Josh Minot? Parents' last name was Minot, and they decided to call him Josh, and they weren't kidding. Get it? Joshin'. Oh, hey, Flop, Sweat, and Tears Tour. We're about to book a show in Rochester and in Mankato. We're going out state this year, so be waiting for that.
Oh, boy.
I figured you'd do that.
Do you find all the locations, or do they come to you?
People have come to us, but we also search out some of those markets. I mean, it's a no-brainer, Mankato. We work at where? The legendary Cato Ballroom. That's where everybody's working.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings, Buddy Holly and the Crickets, The Big Bopper, Richie Valens, Common Man Meat Sauce, and Larry Mandela. So that's just a no-brainer. We play at the legendary Cato Ballroom. I think for Rochester, it's going to be the American Legion. Well, you got to start somewhere.
The American Legion.
I think we're going to be at the American Legion.
What's capacity there?
Well, I don't know, but I do know that apparently we don't really have a very good sound system, and I don't even know if they have a lighting system. So we're going to have to work on that. Larry Mandela guy says he's got a light system or a sound system or something because he does.
Why don't you hire Jared?
Yeah, we could.
Set it up for you.
We ain't got a lot of money, though. There's not a lot of money in comedy.
Can't you just add like an engineering fee?
I don't know if
everyone's got to pay an extra.
Yeah, I just don't know.
$3 for an engineering fee?
I just don't know if we could pay Jared enough for his time. Travel down to Rochester. I just don't know if he's going to want to do that. But so anyways, Wolves lose again, and they're going to have to weather the storm, Tennessee, until Ant comes back.
Yeah.
But the defense does leave a little bit to be desired.
Well, and over the last couple of years, that's the reason why they've ascended up the standings. 2 years ago, they were one of the best defensive teams in all of basketball. So you think they would go recognize, hey, this is our bread and butter.
That's what I would have thought, too. But apparently that's not the way they operate. Somebody just sent me. Where did it go? It felt like it was on my phone. Maybe I imagined it. Did you send?
Do you think the Wolves now have the philosophy of regular season for show, postseason for dough? Just
Maybe,
after making 2 extended runs in the Western Conference Finals, like this just doesn't do a whole lot for them. They just want to get in.
Maybe that's what it is. I mean, we've seen it, again, as much as I've criticized the Wolves for last year, they lost a handful of games that they had no business losing. They were playing inferior teams the inferior teams only had win totals. All the inferior teams had win totals in the teens. That's how bad it was. We were losing to those clubs, and that allowed us to drop from maybe a 3 or 4 seed, plummeted all the way to 6. That being said, 6 seed didn't seem to bother the club, right? Because they went to the Western Conference Finals. Mm-hmm. So they did get to the finals with being the 6th seed.
Now, Steph Curry got hurt.
Yes.
In the Golden State series, and who knows how that could have been different had he stayed healthy. But yeah, they waited till the last day before they even got to the 6th seed. Could have been a much different story last year.
Someone sent me a screenshot of, I don't know where this is from, but it's a quote from Michael Jordan. I think it's recent.
Okay.
You play basketball for 2.5 to 3 hours a day. That's your job. That's what you get paid to do. And underneath it says Michael Jordan criticizes current NBA players for sitting out games when healthy. Even the GOAT can't figure it out. GOAT played 82 games every year, right?
Yes.
He never sat out, right?
He was hurt one year, but other than that, if he was good, yeah.
And he was pretty good, and he was no worse.
Load management in general didn't exist back then.
He was no worse for the wear.
But he got it out.
And I think you could take that even further. It's like, I think there are, not only are there players in the league with load management, but I think there are players in the league that take load management during games they're playing. They just don't.
Sure.
They come out flat and they just don't exert any energy. This text message came in. It says, Nah was really important to their defensive scheme. Losing him is really proving to be a problem. That is true. I mean, there's no denying that. Nah was he was a player that was in. It's beginning to look maybe he was indispensable to the Wolves, but. Tim, you and I have talked about this for so often. I really believe, some people are more physically gifted, and some people maybe just are naturally better because they're more athletic when it comes to playing defense, regardless of the sport. But in most cases, I think defense is just effort.
Effort and brains.
Yeah, it's just, playing within the system, playing, connected. I think it was Finch in a story a couple of days ago after the woeful shortcomings and inadequacies of the Wolves defense talked about, or maybe it was one of the players, but there were quotes about how, even in basketball, you even defensively, you play connected. And sometimes players are trying to do a little too much on their own. I'm not seeing that, but, sometimes you get out of the flow of what's the concepts of what you're supposed, like, we read the quotes about how Finch basically, he voluntarily became the fall guy for the club last night on that last shot. He said, I should have called instead of a drop. I should have done this. Instead of this defensive scheme, we should have done this defensive one instead. And so it does become part and parcel that players have to play together. And if not everybody's on the same page, that can create problems. It really creates problems. You'd have to speak to hockey defensively, but in football it does. If someone's not doing their job, either rushing the passer.
Well, it's catastrophic in hockey.
And it can be catastrophic in football too.
Yeah.
If a guy's just not doing his job. So, I'm. Here's it's hypocrisy for Jordan to say that he'd certainly be taking games off for load management. He was playing in this era. All superstars do. It's how teams are managed, not the players. I don't believe in that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be hypocrisy.
No, that's not. We don't know. For one, we don't know if that's what Jordan would have done. And also for his era, he was like on the extreme in terms of
work ethic and compete. So I can't assume that just Michael Jordan in this era would.
Yeah, I don't.
Because Anthony Edwards has got a little bit of that to him. He's hurt right now.
Right.
But Anthony Edwards, one thing I respect about him is he doesn't do the load management thing. He plays every game he can play in. So
that's exactly right.
Some of them do exist.
Yes. So there you go. Let's take a break. We'll come back with 5-3-4 at the top of the hour. Then Deuce and Mark Rosen join us at 1:30. Deuce is not coming in the studio.
Oh, no.
No, well, he realized...
He's coming to boast and brag.
Well, but he's decided his employment is more important than his job.
That's probably a wise decision.
Yeah, so he's going to stay at work. So he's going to call in. But Deuce and Rosen will join us at 1:30 for Spread Swing. 5-3-4, Tenneby, what you got for us?
There's a new sheriff in town, or should we say skipper.